get ready. A multi-day severe weather outbreak is imminent. We'll have day after day of large hail, wind, and possibly a couple of tornado outbreaks. When are all these things going to go down and who is most at risk? We'll have all that and more in your forecast starting now. Whoa, check that out. Oh. All right, so taking a look at our current satellite view, we really don't have a lot going on right now. Things are pretty calm. We still have got this upper level low up here over the Great Lakes. That's spinning around some shower and storm activity, but the rest of the country is looking pretty much cloud free, including the Great Plains. But notice how we've got this disturbance. See those clouds out there in the Rocky Mountains? That is going to be a catalyst for severe weather today, and that will be the beginning of what is a multi-day severe weather outbreak. All right, so we're going to take this day by day. I'm going to show you exactly what you can expect every single day. Starting today, Wednesday, May 14th, we've got this slight risk up in North and South Dakota, also goes down into Nebraska. Remember, a slight risk is a 2 out of 5, and we are expecting some very strong storms this afternoon and later on this evening into tonight. We do have a risk for tornadoes today, specifically in Nebraska and South Dakota. That's where the greatest risk of some tornadoes will be as storms form and kind of slide to the north and east. Now, let's go ahead and time out these storms today. Now, all of the next several days of severe weather is going to be spawned by this storm system right in here. You can kind of see it spinning. I'm going to go back here and show you. See that spin in the atmosphere? That is a forming low pressure system, and with that, as it gets stronger and stronger, that will be your catalyst for storms as that slides to the north and east, and that could provide enough spin in the atmosphere to really get things going from a tornado perspective. So timing out today's threat, Wednesday, May 14th, this is 4 p.m. You'll notice some showers and storms are already forming as we go into the evening and overnight hours. More showers and storms form right along a cold front that's lifting to the north and east. That's where our greatest tornado threat will be tonight, probably sometime between dinner time, that's around 6 p.m. Central, all the way through midnight Central. And going into Thursday morning, a lot of those showers and storms should weaken pretty quickly, but we are going to reload for another day of severe weather on Thursday. This is tomorrow, May 15th, and this is hot off the press. The Storm Prediction Center has maintained and even expanded the enhanced risk that includes Wisconsin down into western Michigan, even northern Illinois and northern Indiana. I do think Thursday will be much more significant and much more widespread than Wednesday. And here's why. They just added this 10% hatched area that basically includes all of central and southern Wisconsin. And remember that yellow, this yellow right in here, that is a 10% risk of seeing a tornado within any point of that circle. And the hatched, those slashes through it, that actually means you could get a strong EF2 plus tornado. And we do have risk for tornadoes that goes all the way down back into Arkansas, even going into Ohio and the whole state of Michigan, even back up into Minnesota. So a very big area at risk for tornadoes on Thursday. Thursday could be a very big day. All right, let's go back to the simulated radar. This is what could happen. I'm going to show you exactly the timing on when these storms will get worse. This is starting Thursday at 12 Central. Notice we really don't have a lot going on. Maybe some showers and storms spitting up here. We'll have to watch those, especially in Minnesota. But check it out. The main event won't be till the afternoon and later on in the evening. Once we get about 4, 5, 6 p.m. right there, that is when things fire off in a big way in Wisconsin and Illinois. It's kind of a broken line of supercells slide off to the north and east. We'll have a cold front draped here. We'll have warm, moist air coming up from the south. And as that cold air from the cold front interact with that warm, moist air, it'll start to spin. And any storms that do form are going to latch onto that spin. And that's why we could have some strong tornadoes, especially right in this region. And then as we move into the night, the threat is going to shift to the south as the storms up north slowly slide into Canada. We'll have a secondary line of storms that form down in Michigan, even into Illinois and Indiana. So from about 8 p.m. Central through midnight Central, we're going to have to watch as that secondary line of storms slams its way off to the east. And unfortunately, we could have a nocturnal, that is a nighttime tornado threat evolve in Michigan, Indiana, maybe even northern Ohio. Another one. We've got another day of severe weather in a row. This is Friday, May 16th. We've got a pretty big slight risk. That's a 2 out of 5. I could see them upgrading this in the future, though. Conditions are very favorable, at least at this point, for a potent day. And this is a different area than on Thursday. It includes more of like southern Ohio, southern Indiana, into Missouri, into Kentucky and Tennessee. You guys are up next on Friday for some big time storms. Gosh darn it, I gotta move this map. I've gotta
slide to the left, slide to the right,
crisscross. Everybody clap your hands. All right, now that we got that map slid over to the right, I'm going to show you exactly what to expect on Friday. So going into Thursday, into the overnight hours, those showers and storms that are moving through Michigan could stay strong, especially in eastern Michigan and into Ohio. So probably a noisy night ahead Thursday night. And then as we wake up Friday morning, there'll be a low pressure centered up here in the Great Lakes, and you'll have a trailing cold front. And this cold front's going to stall out here as very warm, moist air pushes up from the south, keeps that front right where it is. And that will be the focal point for showers and storms during the day on Friday. But this is Friday morning and things really haven't kicked off yet as we go into Friday afternoon. Notice, this is about Friday, let's say 1, 2 p.m. Check out this line of storms that forms in Missouri, and we've got some more showers and storms moving through Ohio. And then once we hit about 8 p.m. Friday evening, this line of storms has really got going. And those storms, if they do form, because there is a little bit of a question, will the cap break on Friday? This isn't a slam dunk scenario by any means, but if they do form like the NAM depicts it and they do break that cap, I'm telling you guys, conditions are very favorable for rotating storms, and with that, possible tornadoes. As look at the tornado parameter, this is literally in that same time frame when those storms were forming up in Indiana and Ohio and Kentucky. Those tornado parameters are off the charts. We're talking mega, massive, huge. Any big word you want to use, that's what those tornado parameters are, and that is a problem. So that's why Friday, even though there's only a slight risk right now, the ceiling for the event, that's how bad it could be at its worst, is very high. But there are some fail modes. There's no guarantee it's going to happen, and that's why it's only a slight risk at this point. All right, so after Friday, you're probably thinking, are we done with severe weather? Wrong. We are just getting started, as we likely will have severe weather possible on Saturday. I don't think we're talking about a widespread outbreak, but watch. What we're looking at right now is the 500 millibar pattern. So the pattern really high up in the atmosphere, and the greens, the oranges you see right in there, that is very strong winds. That's our jet stream that's moving through the country. That's like a cheetah running full speed with a jetpack on the back who just had super Red Bull and a Celsius. Sunday and Monday could be the return of some significant severe weather in Oklahoma, which has seen a very quiet season so far, and really the past couple of seasons, but things are likely going to change here. As we go into Sunday, notice we've got an upper level low here. This thing is really starting to ramp up here. Check out that jet streak. Very strong winds. Also negatively tilted, guys. Those are some of the things I look for when I'm looking for severe weather in the medium to long term. And then Monday, we've got more energy that moves through right in here. And Tuesday, we've got yet another trough that moves through. Check it out. This is Tuesday afternoon. Negatively tilted, upper level low. Very strong winds. I don't like the look of that. That's why the Storm Prediction Center has highlighted this area mainly in western Oklahoma. It's a 1 out of 5 risk right now. We're several days away. Oklahoma is likely going to wake up in a big way. This is Monday. Oklahoma once again in the epicenter with Kansas as well. So some very strong storms are likely going to form right along a dry line, as we've got a low pressure that just sits up here. There'll be a dry line right in there. What is a dry line? We'll have very dry air on the west side of it. That's with the frowny face. And then we'll have very warm, moist air on the east side. That's with the smiley face. And right where those two areas meet, that's your dry line, and that can be a catalyst for some big time storm. Everyone buckle up, take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Don't worry, I'm going to be with you every step of the way, getting you through all of these outbreaks of severe weather. But what's the weather going to be like for the rest of the country during the weekend? As we approach the weekend, we're going to get rainfall in the Dakotas into Minnesota. And this is your signal for severe weather down there on Friday. And then the Northeast is likely to be rainy as we go into Friday. And then going into the weekend, Florida and the Southeast is going to stay dry until that cold front moves through in the morning hours on Saturday. And then the Central Plains should be pretty calm and dry for the most part Saturday into Sunday. Could get some storms down here in Texas and maybe southern Oklahoma. More talking probably some large hail, some damaging winds, maybe an isolated tornado threat. And then going into Sunday, once again, storms fire in Oklahoma. That is our severe weather threat on Sunday. Could even get some storms down here in the southeast. But the rest of the country, if you live east of the Rocky Mountains, Sunday should be a pretty nice day. West of the Rocky Mountains, a lot of rain and snow, unfortunately, in the mountains. It's May. Why are we still getting snow? It's insane. And going into Monday and Tuesday, we're going to have several rounds of severe storms as the plains wakes up severe weather-wise. So heads up if you do live from Kansas, Nebraska, Oklahoma, even down into Texas, even into Missouri. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, gonna have to be weather aware and keep your eye on the sky. And you can watch me here on YouTube. All right, guys, well, that about does it for us today. I did want to give a huge shout out to Dre over at Convective Chronicles. They made this epic video about the April 2nd tornado outbreak here behind the high risk. They had the meteorologist at the Storm Prediction Center, Chris Broyles, who issued that high risk. I would highly recommend checking that out. It's very technical, but it'll help you pick up on some terms and why they issued that high risk on that day. Broyles is the best in the biz, and Trey is epic. Go check it out. I'll have the link in the description below. And lastly, don't forget the cat of the video. This cat is concerned, and rightfully so, because we are going to have several days in a row of severe weather. It's Concerned Cat. That's the cat of the video. That's all I got. That's it. That's all I got. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Everyone be weather aware. I'll try to go live whenever I can. I'll try to post out on the Discord page when I'm going live. Thank you for joining me today. From the bottom of my heart, I am so appreciative of you guys being here. Find someone today. Tell them you love them. Tell them you care about them. Do something nice for someone today. This is Stormcat 5, and I'll see you on the next one.